everyone. I wanted to share a little project with you today that I've been thinking about for quite some time, and it's altering this little tiny tin. You guys know I like ginger and I like these little ginger mints, and they come in these cute little tins with the little flip top lid. So I've been saving these up and I want to alter one and make a fun little holder for a tiny little journal. So I hope you enjoy watching this. I do have enough stuff that I'm going to put some little kits together to sell in my Etsy shop in case you guys want to make one. So let's just get started. Okay, I'm going to use some black fabric. This is just like a cotton muslin fabric, and I think I'm just going to put the fabric right up next to where the lid stops, because I don't think it will go up and down over it very well. So I'm going to just stop it there and just wrap the fabric around and adhere it in with a seam at the back. All right, so just go ahead and cut this off so I know about how much of this I need to work with. And I think just to make it stick to the surface of the tin, I'm going to just put a little bit of glue stick on the tin itself and then just wrap it, and then I'll seal it at the back with probably some Fabrifix. Whoops. This is a project that's not it's not going to be real precise. It's going to be another sort of messy looking project, which I think is going to be really fun. All right, so I'm going to lay that there for a second and trim off some of this excess fraying here. I'm going to just put it right about center and just lay it in that glue. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this side. And it kind of comes up just a little bit at the back, so I'm just kind of sliding it upwards as I go around. There we go. Okay, and then this part can just be glued. I probably could use the glue stick still, but I do want to make sure it stays put, so I'm going to glue it with the Fabrifix in a second. I think I can trim around the edge with it in place, so I can kind of see through it. It's, you know, thinnish fabric, so I can kind of see through it. I can feel where the scissors are going right up next to the tin, so I think it'll be okay. I haven't really planned all this out. I just wanted to sit and play and put it together and see what I could create, and because I know it's going to be fun, just have a black tin and then put some colorful bits around it. I think it's going to be really fun. All right, and then just trimming it up as necessary. We go. I mean, it's going to fray a little anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay, I think we got it. If I can hold on to it. Okay, let's move some of this mess out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to take the Fabrifix and I'm just going to run a little bit along the edge. I'm going to run it on this edge because I don't want it to go past. And it shouldn't take much. Okay. And just close that seam up. Okay. Okay, cap this glue. Okay, now for the top and the bottom, which also has some printed words on it, I took my black fabric and I, as you can see here, I drew around the tin, set it down, and drew around it with with a white charcoal pencil. And you can see the little line there. I think you can see it. There we go. And so when you draw around something, you know it's going to be bigger than you need. So when I cut it out, I cut it inside that line. And I did that for the top and the bottom, and there are different sizes. The top is bigger than the bottom. So I'm going to just lay those inside. For the bottom it goes inside, and for the top it just sits right on top. But that covers up all the writing that was inside there, or I mean on that outside of the tin. So I'm just going to, come on glue, here we go. I'm just going to put some of this on the inside and lay my fabric in there carefully. Okay, here we go. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the top piece. It will lay right on top. So everything is covered, okay, except for this area right here. A little bit of words right there. So I'm gonna take some white little mini rickrack and put it around just so that it covers those words, and then it will go right around to the back side. I have to scooch it up just a little bit, kind of like we did the fabric here. But that's going to go there. Okay, so just going to put some glue all the way around. Make sure it goes right over the words and right on around. And I'm going to start at the back, lay it in place, and just gently move it around. Okay, and straightening it as I go, because this does dry kind of quickly. So any movement needs to be done right away. Okay, and then that goes there. Okay. So cute. All right, wipe my hands, or brush my hands off. Here we go. Okay, now I can snip this end of the, I'm going to use my smaller scissors. Just snip that off there and press that in place. That's so cute. I love it. So the next step is to start putting on some colorful things. So I'm going to start with a strip of fabric, really pretty colorful piece of fabric, and I'm going to tie it around the tin. Just to make a little knot and have a couple little tails hanging over, or hanging down, or sticking out. Have a couple of little tails, that's all I'm trying to say. Okay. Go. you go, very cute. Okay, and then I've got a pretty little piece of ribbon fiber that's real pretty and colorful. I'm going to tie it around also, and probably tie it in a different area just to make all the knots kind of, you know, be in different areas going down and around. Okay, see if I can tie this. It's a little short, but I think it'll work. I think it's going to work. Looking pretty cute. Love it. Okay, and I've got another one that I'm going to put underneath the fabric. I'm going to slide these down just a little bit and put one more fiber trim on. I'm going to put it right in this space here, and it's a really colorful piece of eyelash fiber. Okay, so I'm going to just leave a little tail hanging to tie here, and I'm just going to wrap this around a couple of times and come back up and tie it in place. There you go. I think this is just a really fun way to use these little tins and make them into something usable rather than, you know, throw them in the trash or in a landfill someplace, end up in a landfill. So I'm going to trim that just a little here. That one's fine. Okay. So now you've got a fun little, I think it's adorable with all the little frays and frillies and everything hanging off of it. I love it. Okay, so now for the top, I've got some buttons and some little sequins. I thought I would just test this out and see which ones I like up here. I like the shiny, sparkly effect of, you know, having the little sequins on there, because it just makes it fun. So that's kind of cute. I can go in a straight line. Whoops. Stay put, little button. There we go. So I'm just trying to look and see which way I like it best. I kind of like it straight across, and I do like that. It could also be really cute to have 3 little buttons. I like that too, but I do like the sparkly effect, I think, the most. So I'm going to use these 4 and this button and just glue them down. Okay, I think I've decided that I like the idea of putting the putting extra sequins on instead of making it straight across in a line. I'm going to put 3 of them. here. So let's put these in place. Okay, that one, and that one, and this one. There, I think that's kind of cute. So cute. It's shiny. So I think that's a fun, sweet little decoration for the top of the tin. Okay, so now let's move on to the little book while this sets up and dries. That is so adorable. Love it. It's very fun. Now, my book is a very tiny, teeny tiny little book, and it's made from a little coin envelope. Okay, the flap is closed and then it's folded in half, and I've used two elastics, little hair elastics, as the closure and also the binding. So I want to show you how to connect these two so that you can use them together for the binding and the closure. And all you do is you have the two circles. You put one over the top of the other one, pick it up, one over the top of the other one, and then you put your fingers inside the circle of one and reach over, and that same circle you want to grab the other side of it and then just pull it through. So then you just loop one half of it over the pages, okay, and then you close it. Well, actually, you got to slide this around. There we go, so that this is in the center. Okay, and then you take the other half and it comes over the top for the closure, just like that. Now I have a little tiny tab that I've glued onto the back cover of my book, and the reason I did that is because when you put the journal inside, it goes down a little too far, and so it's kind of hard to get it out. So I thought, well, you know, a little tab on there would make that real simple. So it's easy enough to just reach in there and then pull it out. And you kind of wiggle it a little because there's a little lip here where the tin is rolled down. So you just reach in there and kind of wiggle it a little, and you can take it in and out very easily. I have decided I'm going to call my book Little Things I Love. And I'm planning to just draw or paint little items, little things that I love. And so I'm giving you an example here. I just painted a little dragonfly and then outlined it and just wrote the word dragonflies. And I think it's going to be the sweetest little book. And I don't have any more in here yet, but I think it's going to be super fun. I'm not for sure if I'm going to keep these exact pages. What I've used here is just some printer paper, okay? And printer paper is really good to use in a tiny book like this, because if you decide you would like to collage onto these thinner pages, it thickens them up really nicely. And it's all the thickness you need. If you start out with a thicker piece and then collage onto it, you have extremely thick pages. So it's up to you to decide what kind of book you want to make, and so once you've decided that, you'll know what kind of paper you want to use. I am including some sheets of printer paper cut to size to fit in the book. So you can use those if you choose. If you buy a kit, you can use those if you choose, or you can put whatever papers you want to inside for your pages. I'm actually going to include a sheet in my little kit. I'm going to turn it this way so we can get it all in the shot. These are some of my painted papers and jelly prints and marbled paper. This one's alcohol inks. And I just reduced them into a tiny square because I think some of these could be adhered to the pages of the book. Whether you use a whole piece on a page or if you tear these up and just collage little bits of different things on the page. Whatever you want to do, the sky's the limit. But I thought I would include some little tiny print collage papers to maybe make that process easier for you if you don't have anything like with a small print. Because, you know, with a tiny little book, it's helpful to have stuff that has a tiny print. Because if you use a big print, you're not going to see very much of it on this small of a page. So that's the purpose in this being in the kit. So I think this will be a fun way to collage some backgrounds down. You know, you may want to collage a background and then add a sticker or add a whatever you want to do, because it's going to be all set up to your book and what you want to make it into. So for my book, I love this tan and black, but I also liked this little tab being black and white. So I decided I wanted to add a little bit to my cover. So I've got some cardstock. This is just regular scrapbook cardstock that I'm going to add to these to my covers. And then I've got another little piece I'm going to add, which I think turned out kind of cool. Let's see. I think glue stick will hold this pretty well, so I'm going to do that. And this, putting it on the back side too, helps cover up the end of the tab that I had put on, so I like that. I like the way that looks. Kind of finishes it off a little bit. Okay. Now for the front, I took some washi tape and attached it to a piece of printer paper. Just stuck it down, used some glue stick and stuck it down. And I really like the way that looks, and I'm going to put that over the top of this bit right here because I just think that looks really cool on my book. All right, I'm going to put my book back together. You can also stitch your pages in. It's so cute. I love the tiny size of it. Okay, let's swing that around a little bit more. There we go. And then close it up. That's so fun. Love it. Okay. I was also thinking that I might want to put a little charm on the front of this. I've got a little leaf charm that I like. I'm sliding up these ribbons just a little bit. I think I like that moved up. I was thinking a little charm hanging right here against the black would be really cute. So I've got a little gold leaf, and I thought I would put that right here. It's kind of cute. All right, so I think it'll just move out of the way when I set it down because it does kind of hang down just a little bit. So I'm going to attach that to that ribbon right there. So I have a needle and thread. I have not knotted this thread because I'm going to leave the tail hanging out and then I'm going to tie a knot. Got a tight little knot there and it's a little bit difficult to get through it. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to leave tail leave a tail there. And then I'm going to put the needle through the charm. You can use a jump ring if you like, and then just attach it around that ribbon. But I just thought it would be fun to have another element of texture by putting, I'm going through the ribbon again and then through the charm again. By having the extra string here tied on the outside, I thought would make just a fun little extra bit of texture. All right, so I'm just going to go around that twice. Then I'm going to take my needle out. And I'm going to tie a knot. Sorry, I'm getting out of frame. I'm so close up here. Okay. And I typically will put a little bit of glue right inside before I close up my knot. And that kind of helps assure that it's going to stay tied and not come loose. Just a little dab of glue there. And of course, make sure you get it all over your fingers and all too while you're at it, just like I do. Okay, and then I'm going to just close that knot on top of that glue. Okay, and then I'm going to just snip that there and snip that there. Okay. So it dangles there. It's a little lower than the 10, but it sits there fine, so it's not a problem. I could have attached it higher, but I don't think it would be seen because there's so much going on here. So that's why I put it at the bottom, because I think you can see it so much better down here against the black. Snip those a little bit more. There we go. It's so cute. So I hope you guys like this idea and would like to create one. I think it's adorable, and I can't wait to create on the little tiny pages in this little tiny journal. So again, if you're interested in purchasing a kit, I have the tin and all of these ribbons and fabrics that you see. I have all of this included, and the charm as well. And there's an envelope with the pages that I mentioned, and all you need to do is fold those in half, the envelope and the papers. You come back out again here. Okay. And then you know, tie your loop your little elastics together, and you're good to go. So anyway, I hope you like this idea. I think it's adorable, and a fun way to have a teeny tiny book inside of a tin that is being saved from the trash can. So anyway, thanks for joining me today, guys, and we will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.